Coming up on the Style Rebellion podcast.
We're changing lives. And as crazy as that sounds, like helping give people their confidence back, helping people feel like there's nothing wrong with them, like we talked about earlier. It's really cool. And that's one of the most rewarding things.
Welcome, everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of Style Rebellion, the podcast. I'm Blair Petroni, your image consultant and lead host. We have the beautiful Erin Cox with us today. Hello, Miss Erin. How are you?
Hello, Blair.
I see you're in a whole new location. Look at you with that incredible little background.
I am in a new location. We have teamed up with a fantastic production and editing team, and I am in their studio here in Knoxville. And so it's going to be a great episode with great video and audio quality.
I love that. You look so good. And they're not even a joke. When you walked on screen, I was like, oh,
Well, I happen to know this young image consultant who made me look absolutely fabulous. And if you need her, oh wait, it's you. It's
that's
you.
that's why she said, oh, wait, it's you. It's because I'm not young. Young, a little bit, you guys. Very old.
I mean, I'm approaching senility, so my adjectives are falling off a little bit.
According to my birth certificate, I turned 37 this year. I still tell people I turned 21 again.
Yeah. Just keep turning 21. And then when they put geriatric pregnancy on your file at the hospital.
They already said that, dude. When I turned, what was it? When I had Bash, when I was like 34, they were like, you're geriatric. And I was like, your crotch is really close to my foot. I would be really careful about saying that.
Back.
Yeah, it'd be real close. Yeah, I'd be really careful because, there's a knee-jerk reaction there when you say geriatric. Jesus. But anyway, this is the episode that I am so excited about. And here's the reason why, you guys. Every year I chat with my admin and I tell her, like, at the beginning of the year, this is the year that I'm going to solve X for my clients. And at the beginning of 2025, I looked at her and I was like, I'm going to solve jeans. And she was like, I don't even know what that means.
I'm not sure.
I'm ready for that. She's like, I don't know what that means. I don't know where we're going. I don't know how that's going to work. And the reason why I said that is because I have so many clients, and honestly, not even just clients, like friends, family, strangers on the internet. Everyone complains about how hard it is to find jeans, to find pants that fit, to find anything, because we're all different.
Yes.
All of us, whether and it has nothing to do with weight. And we'll get into that in a little while because Erin, you and I were like waxing poetic about this yesterday when we were talking about the episode. And I was like, hold on. We have to hold this for tomorrow because this is such good.
We record right now.
I know. You're like, shh, stop talking about this.
Okay.
But when I was talking to Lauren, she was like, okay, but how are you going to do that? I said, I don't even know, but I'm going to figure it out. And so then I just stumble fell upon this company flat on my face in, maybe it was August. And I was like, oh my God, they did it. They literally solved jeans. And I immediately texted Erin and I was like, dude, I think they did it. And so we got in contact with them and we started working out how we were going to get them on the podcast and get pairs to try and all of these different things. And so I'm really, really excited to tell you guys that they're here. And because here's the problem, like finding jeans that is truly, truly perfect for each individual, it's like hunting for a unicorn, right? Because denim is like one of the biggest pain points for people across the board. Like each person has a body with specific lines, with tailoring needs, with a soul, like your essence, right, that needs to shine. And nobody ever does like ready to wear denim that accommodates everything except for these guys. We're talking to Neems today, you guys. Neems. They are not sponsoring this podcast at all. In fact, we begged them to come on. We were like, please, please come and tell everyone the glory of your jeans because they need to know. And Erin, do you want to tell the story about when you were like, Blair, you need to post on Insta and like ask people how many jeans they would buy?
Yeah, we were in communication with Neems and just talking about developing a relationship for the podcast and then also for sales and cross promotion and cross pollination and all of the fun things that happen when you're in business. And I said to Blair, we should really put a poll on your Instagram and on the podcast Instagram and just ask people, hey, if I could magic up this custom pair of jeans just for you and it would be perfect, how many pairs would you buy?
And I told
How many
them, I
pairs?
was like, guys, it's going to be like better quality than Lejean's and better quality than Veronica Beard. And they're going to fit you like a glove. And you can tell them exactly the cut, exactly the inseam. Like you don't even have to tell them because they're going to measure you properly to do all of this. And what was it, like an hour? It
Yeah,
was, like, over 250 pairs, and we
it
had,
was,
like, over, like, 80 plus people that had given their number.
yeah,
There were
yeah,
some people that were like, "Dude, I'll buy 10 pairs, like, don't play
right?
with me." And I told them, I was like, "They're gonna be $200 a pair, but they're gonna be the best jeans you've ever had, and they're gonna last you 10 plus years."
Yeah. And
And they were
and guess
like,
what?
"What?"
If they wear out, oh my gosh, you can get them again. Like it's not they haven't floated off into the universe to disappear somewhere into the abyss of like jeans that we used to love that don't exist anymore.
Yeah, it was amazing. So we were like, "What?" So after so many, like, fruitless and frustrating attempts to find jeans that fit well, our guest today is the co-founder that literally took matters into his own hands by creating a company that offers denim custom made, y'all, custom made to your personal measurements. Could this be the end of our denim fit woes? I think so. Please welcome to Style or Die Young podcast, Andre Ramirez, co-founder of Neems. Hi, Andre.
How's it going? What an introduction. What an introduction. That is hard to follow. And also, anytime that you want to come speak on behalf of Neems, you are absolutely welcome because I don't think you could have nailed it any better.
We're in love with you guys, and I don't think I could fangirl any harder. Like every time we talk to somebody about you, they're like, "Do they pay you?" And we're like, "No, we just love them. We just love the
We
concept.
just
We
believe in
love what we
sharing the
do."
things that work, right? Like we want to give away the secrets that make your life easier. And holy heck, getting a pair of jeans that fits is going to save you hours of your life and hours of frustration and a lot of tears and some laughter and a whole bunch of other things. So we're just super pumped to kind of pull back the curtain and have a conversation with you about the company and about the product and all about jeans.
Yeah, no, I'm super excited. I think you guys hit the nail on the head across really across the board with everything you said. And I think what makes it a really strong project that we took on 5 years ago. I say we, my co-founder and I, who's also my wife. Her name is Danny. Unfortunately, she couldn't be here today, but I'm super excited to dive in. Yeah, the reason I say it's such a passion project we took on is because it was founded from personal frustration. This
Mhm.
wasn't just market research of what are people struggling with, because we just want to go do something that could be high potential. No, we literally suffered through it ourselves, and out of that said we think there could be something better. And I think you hit the nail on the head, Blair. It's while weight can be a component, it's not the component. I think people default to, oh, it's just for insert a box here type of people. And the reality is, no, it's not. Your different proportions of your body, of your lower body, from your waist to your hips, your butt, your thighs, your calves, your ankles, your inseam, your rise, even your front rise and back rise. Heck, even some people have a left thigh that's different from their right
Yep.
thigh. that has nothing to do with weight. That has to do with your body, how how your different proportions are distributed. And it's impossible for brands that are off the rack that mass produce, tens, if not hundreds of thousands of garments at once to make it for every single permutation. That's just not possible. So
Yeah.
the only model to do it is custom made and made to order, right? We'll actually design, cut and sew your jeans after your order's been placed because it's 100% bespoke to you. There's nothing pre-made here.
And I
Love it.
think that's so incredible and fits so hand in glove with how Erin and I truly, truly believe people are. And the reason why is we practice what's called kibbe body types when it comes to styling. And we tell people you can gain or lose 100 pounds, and your kibbe body type is exactly the same. It has nothing to
Hmm.
do with the hourglass system because that is based off of circumference
Hmm.
all the way around. Kibbe is based off of your vertical and your width. We look at you like you are a 2D doll. And so that's based off of ding, 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 proportion.
Hmm.
The
Hmm.
proportion of your head to the width of your shoulders, to the length of your torso, to the length of your legs, to the width of your thigh, you will proportionally gain and lose weight within that entire structure. It's just like
Hmm.
when
Hmm.
you go and you work with a physical trainer and they're like, "Sorry, babe, you can't spot reduce." And you're like, "Shit, I would love to take some of this off of my stomach and put it on my ass." And they're like, "Don't work like that, boo boo."
Yep.
Dang.
Right.
Right. You said the perfect thing. Like, we have clients all the time that are like, "This is so hard. Why can't pants just fit me perfectly?" And I was like, "Just hold on until January because they can and they will."
Will. They
Because we are
will.
so excited to talk to you.
Oh, so fun.
Amazing.
Oh,
Likewise. Thank you for having us.
well, we've all had a miserable experience shopping for denim, right? I mean, I know I have. I'm assuming you have, right? So whether you're trying to shimmy into that pair that's just not working, or you're grabbing a stack of denim this high and going to the dressing room and coming out empty-handed, maybe with some tears on your eyes, or ordering a truckload of like a giant box to your house only to find that nothing works. Um, we've all been through it. So real quick, let's go around the table and let's talk about your dreaded denim experience, your memorable dreaded denim experience.
Do you want to go for yours? Is the funniest. Erin, do you want to go
Me.
first? Do you want to go first? Yours is so funny.
So I have permission from my husband to share this story because he's an introvert and all the things. But we were, I can't remember if we were newly married or if we were about to be married, but he desperately needed some new jeans. It had been a minute for him because he was living on a tight budget and all the things. And my sister-in-law owns a showroom in Atlanta, and so I said, "Well, hey, we're gonna come visit. Let's take him shopping." And she's like, "Understood the assignment. We're going to go to the Saks Denim Bar. We'll have a great time, etc." So we go to the Denim Bar, and my husband is very, like, he's probably a dramatic or a dramatic classic for the listeners. He's very narrow in his upper body, very small waist, but he is so muscular in his legs because he runs
Mhm.
a lot. And so he can't do, like, the men's skinny jeans were kind of in vogue at the moment or at the time. And so I mean, they're just not going to work for him. So this very, very colorful, big personality sales associate goes around the store, probably grabs 20 pair of jeans, puts my husband in the dressing room. My husband comes out of the dressing. I can't even tell this without laughing because the jeans were so tight on him, like literally everywhere, that my sister-in-law just took her hand and she goes, "I don't know where to look. That feels appropriate." And so the
The
sales
package was
associate
so tight, and that's what Erin is not you, Kennedy. That's what Erin is not saying, you guys, is, like, the bulge was bulging.
it was
You could not there was nowhere to look. You were just like everyone was just like,
no,
"Oh,
no,
look at
not for
the
anyone.
slide
And I was
underneath
like, I
the
mean, this is
roof."
my partner, and even I'm a little uncomfortable. So anyway, so the sales associate comes back in and he just leans back and he goes, oh no, oh no, no, no. He's like, you give me that pair and that pair and that. And by the time he was done removing that pair, there were no pairs left in the dressing room. So that's my memorable dreaded denim shopping experience.
That's
That's
amazing. That's honestly not too dissimilar for us. I think I mentioned earlier this all started really the shopping experience was in 2018. We used to live in Dallas at the time, and it was a Black Friday. It was Black Friday 2018. My wife and I, we needed jeans amongst the one thing, one thing that was on our list that we needed, and we went into I think 3 or 4 different stores, uh, and the exact same thing. I think we each tried on 3 to 5 pairs across every single store, and ended up leaving the mall empty-handed. And we're like, how did we just go 3 hours, make
Mhm.
a real effort to go ahead and make a purchase today, and yet not buy anything? We went to 3 different brands. We tried the slim fit, the athletic cut. Well, I'm talking about me now. The athletic cut, the slim fit, the this and that. And again, going back to proportions, it was either right on my thighs and super loose on my waist. So I had to wear, a belt that secured it the three extra inches it was on the waist, or fit me
Mm.
in the waist, and it was super tight on my thighs, and it looked like those skinny jeans that are way too skinny for my preference. My inseam is also I like it just flush with the ankles, so I'm right in between like a 29 and a 30, which is a hard combination to find with these thighs and waist sort of proportions that I mentioned. Super frustrating. And for Danny, it's the hips to the waist. She has waist gap, just based on her proportions. And again, pair after pair after pair. And so we left. And I think the only word you can use to describe the situation is deflated. Just like,
Yeah.
what happened? Like, is something wrong with us? Like, see a lot of people buying here. Like, is it us? Like, what's going on here? And so the cool thing is it didn't just end there. The very next day, we came back to that same exact mall. So now it's the Saturday after Black Friday. We bought, I think, 20 to 30 Starbucks gift cards, and we just stopped random people in the mall. Said, hey, can you give us 5 minutes and we'll give you a $10 Starbucks gift card? And we just asked people about how their experience with jeans were, if it was easy, if they struggled, where they struggled, etc. And it was super enlightening because we left and we said, it's not just us. It's pretty much everyone that you talk to. Either you're settling or you feel like we feel.
Mhm.
Very few people were like, oh no, that's easy. I'm this size and it fits me perfectly and it hugs me exactly the way I want to. And if I want to rebuy it in 2 years, it's always available. Said no one ever. So
Perfect.
that's when we were like, okay, there's something here. We need to do something about it.
That's fantastic.
That's genius. So you guys went in and were like, "We're gonna do some market research real quick." I love that.
Day after, literally.
Amazing, because you guys are serial entrepreneurs, right? Like, both of you have it like, that internal spark inside of you where you're like, "If we have this problem, we know other people have this problem." And I bet,
Hmm.
correct me if I'm wrong, I bet you guys went home that night and your, like, little entrepreneur brains were like, and y'all probably couldn't stop talking about it, could you?
That's exactly right. It just takes over everything you're thinking about, and that's all we could talk about that day and the next day.
Mhm, and then you were like, "What if we went and got Starbucks gift cards and then we went back to the mall and we talked to people?"
Yeah. Well, and you don't need a
Exactly
massive
like that.
focus group or a massive sample size when every single person you talk to is like, "This is
Exactly.
miserable. I hate this."
Yeah,
So,
says the exact same thing.
yeah.
I want to my experience, it's not gonna be dissimilar from anybody else's, but it's just gonna be from a different perspective. So, there's a reason I say you are your body type, whether you gain or lose 100 pounds, and I have in my life. I
Mm.
have gained and lost 100 pounds in
Mhm.
my life. And I remember when I was on the heavier side and I went and tried to go find jeans, and I went to all of these different stores that claimed, like, "We love plus size women. We love curves. We've created
Mm.
jeans and pants and clothing for them." And I'm like, "Hell yeah." Like, I don't care what your body type is. I am known to my clients as someone, and by the way, I have a ton of clients that tell me this. They're like, "Girl, I came to you because I'm a size 0." And I'm like, "If she's a size 16, 18, and she can dress people that are any size, clearly she's the stylist for me."
Mhm.
So, I know when I was like a much larger size, I went to these stores and I started trying on jeans, and I'm like, "How the hell do none of these work?"
Mhm.
Like, I would try on this pair and that pair, and I would try on straight versus flare versus boot cut versus wide leg, and it different sizes, different washes, different nothing felt right. Nothing, and even I knew, I could get stuff tailored, but nothing was the quality that I would want to get tailored.
Mhm.
Mm.
That's the difference, because as a plus size woman, hear me, guys, when I say this. My experience has been, even now as a stylist, with my plus size women, there are not high quality jeans that I tell my women, yeah, I really think you should go get those tailored. I think they're worth it. Doesn't exist.
Hmm.
Doesn't exist. So the second I found Neems and I was like, "Shut the front door. You're telling me that they're just gonna take my measurements in this little app that's like a magician, and then they're just gonna make my jeans?" I was like, "Oh." So just from this, it doesn't matter what size you are, but I wanted to speak to the women that are like 16 plus, which, by the way, is now become the norm in America. Size 16 has become the norm.
Mhm.
And being able to look at women and say, there's actually not jeans that I would say are high quality enough right now that I would tell you to go get tailored. And I can point them to Neems and go, you should go ahead and use them. That's a big deal.
Yeah.
And by the way, guys, stick around until the end because we have a code for you to use to be able to get some percentage and discount off of your jeans. And we'll tell you at the end what that's going to be because Andre has been really, really kind and has given us a code for you guys. So we're really grateful for that. So this is the part where we've deemed like the history of memes. Okay? And the reason I say that is like tell me about your background, tell me about Danny's background, like whatever you want to share with us, and then we'll go down the questions that we have cuz I want to know everything.
Yeah.
'Cause apparently you're
Yeah,
serial
we're
entrepreneurs.
and yeah, I guess we can refer to ourselves as that now, but it didn't start that way. If you go way back, we certainly were tinkerers in our childhood. For me, it was, physical tinkering. I loved Legos. I loved just building things out of random things. And so I did love like building and experimenting and just solving problems. Danny was a creative, a tinker in the creative sense. So she is a classically trained, super talented, and I can't stress the word super enough there, musician. And so all her life, and a musician that plays piano really well, but her strongest instrument is actually her voice. She's a singer. She studied voice and opera in college. And so we've always been tinkerers in our own sense. And we didn't connect the dots that actually was a really strong ground for entrepreneurship and for sort of doing our own thing until much later in life. We met each other in college. We didn't end up, becoming close until my last year, her semi last year. I'm a year older. After college, we both went into consulting, business consulting, management consulting, for two different firms. The thought process there was, hey, we just graduated. You kind of don't really know anything about how the world works. You know all this theory and all of these different subjects, but you don't know how the world works. Let's go learn from these management consulting firms to be put on across tons of different projects and just start absorbing things. And so that's exactly what we did. We traveled a lot. We worked on a ton of different projects. We met a ton of different people. And what we call that period of time, it was 2 years for me, 3 years for Danny, was just sort of accelerated real world college 2.0 in a much more
Mhm.
practical sense. What we learned there in terms of how to structure problems, how to interact with vendors and suppliers, how to think about profitability and what revenue and costs were, how to think about setting up businesses, how to think of marketing, et cetera. We learned those sort of 2, 3 years, gave us the confidence to then go unlock that tinkering side that I alluded to earlier. So it was the perfect timing. It was literally at the end of my second year, when I described that Black Friday day, and so we said, "Hey, this is a real problem. We struggle with it a lot, and we have learned a ton of tools that gives us enough confidence to go give it a shot, give it a try." Now, over the past 5 years, my God, we have amplified those learnings to the max because until you're doing it yourself, there's no substitute for that. But it gave us a good foundation to feel confident to go take that leap versus, oh, I think there's something here, but I have no idea where to start or what to do, or I'm too scared to do so. So it was really that background that always lived in us with those 2 to 3 years after college that I think prepared us to take that first leap. And that's all it is, taking the first leap, because then the road sort of unwinds once you do take the first leap. You never plan exactly how it's going to go or what it's going to look like from day one, right? You just need to be prepared to adapt and go from there.
Yeah. Were either of you at McKinsey?
No, I was at Bain, which is a top competitor of McKinsey, and Danny was at Deloitte.
Close enough. It's close enough.
Yeah,
They
that's right.
they pay the so I worked at an excessive amount of Fortune 500 companies. Don't
Okay.
worry. When you're on the other side, we pay you the exact same amount of money. It doesn't matter which one of those three you pick. It's there are so for our listeners, it doesn't matter. McKinsey, Bain, or Deloitte, you're paying the exact same. One of the three. I literally could have said any of those three, and you'd be paying them the same amount of money. So they're all very high level. That's incredible. So you guys were literally like MBA level course working there of just like hands-on experience of immediately seeing like this is how you build companies, this is how you make them better, this is how you fail fast and fail forward very quickly.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Nothing to do with fashion, nothing to do with apparel, but that's, I think, the
Doesn't
beauty
matter.
of it. It doesn't matter.
Doesn't
It's
matter.
a sort of very similar approach and the similar fundamentals to business applied to really anything that you look at. So it gave us the confidence to go ahead and take that first step.
You're like, we don't care.
We love it.
Also, question, did it also give you the potential investors that you knew that you could go to and go, "Okay, I know you have a couple doll hairs in the bank. We got an idea."
You know, that's funny. We. It's really funny you mentioned that. We didn't take investment until last year. We did a friends and family round. So the first 4 years were all what's called bootstrap, which just means it was our savings.
Wow.
What's funny about it is just now, as we start thinking about what does the future of Neems look like and what's required to get there, that's certainly something that we're thinking about a lot. And what's really cool about these firms is not just the relationships that you build with, people that, might have a healthier nest egg than the average person might. That's certainly a thing. But they also have cool programs for alumni, whether it's alumni venture capital firms where they only invest in alumni founded firms, or angel investor programs within some of the more senior peoples in these firms. So we haven't tapped into it yet, but we do have good relationships with some of these folks, and it's something that we're actively considering for the future of Neems.
So you guys haven't even done a Series A yet. You just done friends and family so far.
Hmm.
You let me know if we're friends, Andre. If we're friends yet, and we'll talk
After
about it.
today, we're friends for sure.
Great. You let me know, Andre. Because guys, I'm completely serious. Like the second my marketing brain, the second I saw Neems and with my stylist credentials and the way that I work with clients, I was like, oh my God, this is the future. Like just understanding how all of this works. It's when you buy your first pair and you feel them glide over your body and it just closes and everything is perfect. And and I know this sounds very dramatic. It's my body type. When you shed that first tear of like, "Holy crap, everything is perfect on me," you're welcome. They did it. They
It's
did
one of the
it.
it's one of the coolest feelings. It's one of the coolest feelings. You'll see whether people email us, every once in a while we hop on calls with customers or the reviews that people leave on the website. I always like to take a step back when we're on calls with the rest of our team. We're a pretty virtual team and say, guys, like we're not just selling Neems. Like read what people are saying.
Mhm.
Tell me what other sort of website, what other product you see this level of emotion in what people are writing. Like we're changing lives. And as crazy as that sounds, like helping give people their confidence back, helping people feel like there's nothing wrong with them, like we talked about earlier. It's really cool. And that's one of the most rewarding things.
Well,
That
nothing
oh my
can
gosh.
take you down like a miserable shopping experience. And as a teenager, as a young woman, it was always for me. It was always like, "What's wrong with me that this is so emotional?" But
Mm,
when you go in and item after item just doesn't look and feel like you, right? Doesn't fit you well, doesn't make you feel good in who you are, you do question everything. And that's really, really frustrating and can be
mm,
very upsetting as well.
totally.
Well, and the reason that I'd love to lend some words if I can as to why, just based off of my clients and what they've told me. Okay, is they will. 'Cause what I tell people is what I do is way more like therapy than you would think. Okay,
Hmm.
I'm not telling you like come to me, I'm your therapist, but like when you come and work with me, I will hold a mirror up to your face and say, "This is actually who you are biologically. These are your colors, which is your undertone. This is your body type, which is your kibby, and that never changes.
Hmm.
And this is your essence, which is your soul, and that never changes. If you can never change any of these three things, you should probably love it."
Hmm.
And
Mhm.
that in and of itself is a lot of things that a lot of people have never come to grips with because they are
Hmm.
trying to fight themselves tooth
Hmm.
and nail. And fashion in and of itself has told us you are imperfect. Therefore, our clothes will make you perfect.
Yeah. Gonna say I started as Blair's client, and one of the things that I have tried to do my entire life is stuff my shoulders into narrow seams because
Hmm.
I was so self-conscious about the natural width that I have in my
Hmm.
frame. And so learning about my body type has given me permission not only to embrace this beautiful structure that I have, but also look and feel more comfortable in my clothes. And
Hmm.
having done personal shopping with Blair, having
Hmm.
experienced that, there are times where I put things on and she just looked at me and said, "You're too beautiful for that. Take it off. Like, that doesn't serve you. Like, that's not for that's not for you, but not in a negative way. In a
Hmm.
that is not honoring the beauty that exists within who you are. And so let's go find the thing that does." And so to be able to create a piece that does that is I'm like edge of my seat excited about what this is going to mean for Blair's clients, for our listeners, and honestly for myself, real selfishly, because I like some jeans too.
Erin's like, "I can't wait to order my jeans." Like, she's so excited.
I want this pair and this pair and this pair.
We've already talked about it, and that's the best part about this is all 10 of the Kibbe body types, there's a reason why certain cuts and certain lengths and certain, like, height and all that is gonna be best on them,
Hmm.
and so we're going to actually be putting out a guide about what is going to be best for each body type and what they should be buying from you guys and saying, "Hey, guys, we're putting together a guide." So when you grab your jeans from Neems, you're going to know exactly which cuts we're recommending, exactly which heights you're going to be telling Neems and the customization that you're going to tell them, hey, I need you to trim it here. I need you to go all the way to the ground, or I need you to
Yep.
cut in here, or
Yeah.
whatever. Because guess what, guys? Neems does that. It's amazing.
That's amazing you say that because, one thing that we've learned over the past few years is the fact that we offer it is obviously a huge step forward, but there's still so much uncertainty at the moment of ordering.
Mhm.
People are happy that there's going to be a solution for them, but then they're presented with choice. Should I do wide leg? Should I do straight? Is skinny still in? Is it not in? What does my frame look best in, or what makes my frame look best? Um, Stretch or no stretch? How long should I get them? I'm very short, so typically I have to get cropped for that to be full length on me. But no, don't order cropped, order full length because it's custom made to you. You no longer have to order cropped so that it's full length on you, right? So navigating the process is going back to the word. It is emotional and it's not easy. And we've tried to make it as, simple as possible. There's other offerings out there, typically overseas brands where you go through 15 types of questions. What thread color for the back pockets and the front pockets, and type of button, and what shape do you want the pocket, and do you want it curved or pointed, and this and that. And you're like, whoa, I don't even know where to start. Right. So we've really tried to make it
Mhm.
as distilled to the things that matter as possible. Cut, your wash, your rise, where do you want it to sit on you? How long do you want them to go? And do you want 100% cotton or stretch in them? We'll take it from there. But even that is an overwhelming experience for some people. And you understand why. And so that's amazing to hear that the guide matching Kibbe body types or Kibbe sort of frameworks to what they should order, I think bridges that gap and
Hmm.
allows us to do, okay, now let us do what we're really good at and make these for you and bring them to life for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And decision fatigue is a very, very real thing when it comes to shopping and dressing.
Hmm.
And part of the benefit of
Yes.
knowing your colors and your style and your essence is that it reduces the decision fatigue substantially when you're in your wardrobe because everything works together. Everything plays nicely. You can pair it however you want and it's going to work because you know that it's specific to who you are as a
Hmm.
human being. And so yeah, I just love that. I love that.
I call it
Well,
Garanimals for adults, Andre.
animals for adults.
If you do you know what Garanimals is? It's that clothing line from Walmart for kids where, like, all the clothes match together. So, like, all the clothes for boys match and all the clothes for girls match. And that's what
Wow.
every single human being is looking for. Probably
Hmm.
Danny too, if you ask her where she
Hmm.
as a husband, you would probably know this, where she's like,
Yeah.
"I just want everything in my closet to go together. I don't want it to look like
Yes.
43 people live in my house and in my closet. What I really want is I wanna be able to go in there and in 90 seconds pick out something, an entire outfit that loves me back."
Hmm.
Mhm.
Well, when you know your colors, your body type, so your guidelines, basically, how all the clothes that should love you back, like the shirts, the pants, the skirts, the accessories, whatever. And then your essence, which is the vibe of your clothes, what they should look like. When you know all of those things and you put, take, condense, or make sure your closet looks like all those things, it's Garanimals for adults. And you can get dressed in 90 seconds. And a lot of people are like, that's a dream. Nope, it's real. It's
Yep.
ask every client that I have. It's 100% real.
That's
Yep.
amazing.
It's
Yeah.
crazy cool. Here's okay. I want to stop. We have to stop talking about us because here's the next question that I have for you that I'm dying to ask. Okay, so how did you go through the process of taking this from your idea to this like marketable product?
That's a loaded question. And the simple answer is it went through so many. I mean, it's kind of hilarious. It goes back to what I said earlier. You take the first step and it unfolds from there.
Mm,
You have to have, going when I mentioned management consulting, you have to have what we call a thesis, a hypothesis, an initial thought to ground yourself on, and then go from there. You can't just not know and have a million paths to pursue. But boy, was our initial thesis and hypothesis so wrong. And it didn't matter because it was a place to start.
what was it?
We thought it's hilarious to think, but remember, we had zero fashion experience, zero
Yeah.
anything experience. We thought we could go ahead and produce what we called blanks,
Mm,
jeans that were 30% sewn with
mm,
extra fabric down the leg.
mm,
And then when an order came in, trim the leg according to their measurements and the style that they ordered.
mm.
Except there's a huge problem here, which is the waist, hips, and rises are just as important, if not way more important, where all the complexity lies. It's not just the leg is like 1/10 of what we need to consider here. And then it didn't solve the inventory problem either. If you get really technical, if anything, it just made us, have to make sure that we always had inventory of all of these blanks in stock across all the different sizes so that we could pull one off and finish the pair. So that was the idea that we went to at the time. I went to because I took I had the initial responsibility on setting up the supply chain. So I take this idea to Los Angeles. We lived in Miami at the time, because it was during, right before the pandemic, and we went from Dallas to Miami. So I take this idea to Los Angeles, the denim capital and fashion capital of America, and I meet with like 10 different vendors. And I say, guys, this is how we're going to, revolutionize the industry. We're going to carry blanks, and then we're just going to finish them once the order comes in. And they were all like, that's not going to work. That's not going to, that's just, yeah, it's not going to work. And there was one vendor, no one was really helpful. They all just said that's not going to work. Didn't really explain why or even know how to articulate it. But there was this one vendor who we didn't end up working with them, but they said, hey, look, there's actually automated laser cutters and automated what's called pattern making and grading that exists so that you can actually custom design and custom cut for your customers instead of having to carry your idea of blank stock and have to finish it. So it's actually custom from the beginning and it's made to order instead of just trimmed and still stocked. And so that was one meeting that just changed the trajectory of everything. And we started looking into that, really starting with the laser cutter that made it manufacturable. And so we stumbled upon the company Tukatech that made this laser cutter. And it's really cool. Basically is a computer hooked up to a big laser. You lay the fabric sheet flat and it takes whatever digital design it has and it'll tell the laser head where to go and cut. And so then that can go straight into sewing. And all those pieces were custom designed to you. A pair of jeans is made out of 16 different pieces.
Wow.
And so we connected with Tukatech and they were super receptive and very helpful and willing to just partner with people that had a new vision for what fashion should be, for what apparel and fashion should be. And they kind of became mentors in their own way. We ended up buying the machine from them. It was like our first major investment, like $90,000. It came straight out of, it was our point of no turning back. Like once you buy this machine, we are in this.
You're committed now.
We're committed.
We're buying another college degree, you guys.
Exactly.
Really,
we
like
were
they got
in it.
married to it, right? Like,
Yeah.
for better or for worse, babe. Here we go.
Yeah. Did you sleep with
Exactly.
it? You were like, we love you. Don't fuck us over.
That's exactly right. It was really valuable because without that commitment, as soon as it gets hard, you can kind of turn away, right? And we weren't going to turn away from that. So we bought the machine and we learned a lot from Tukatech and really over the next 5 years that it's been, but really accelerated in the beginning. We started figuring out how do you actually do this? Okay, if you need a custom design, who's going to be doing the custom designing? Okay, they're called pattern makers. But pattern makers, a lot of them aren't trained on digital methods, but believe it or not, a lot of pattern makers are still working on paper, drafting on paper. So, okay, find the pattern makers that can digitally design, but then they're used off the rack in bulk production. So find the pattern makers that can help develop these rules with us. And it just became one thing after the next, after the next. You took one step and you figured out there's 5 more steps to figure out. Then you take those 5 and it just led you to the next 5. And it was like that for the first 3 years until we finally said, okay, I think we have it figured out. I think we have it figured out for how it's going to work. Let's go ahead and start trying to sell this. And then that was a whole different world of figuring out how to sell it, right? I think being able to do it was one thing, actually figuring out how to sell it and then doing it and actually manufacturing and fulfilling orders. It's funny. We actually have one of the very first pairs of jeans that we made and we've kept it because at some point we were going to frame it and hang it up because we are light years away where we started. We did not have the quality of jeans and the quality of the fit and the quality of everything that we have now. We tell a joke. We want to take our first 100 customers on a trip one day because they spent $200 on something that quite frankly wasn't worth $200 or, the cost and the love merited it, but the end product was just simply not there. And it's been lesson after lesson, iteration after iteration, step after step that we can finally, where we are today, say we think we have a very good process, a very good product, and we're making a ton of people very happy.
I love
That's
that.
great. I love that. Can we also double this episode as a masterclass in entrepreneurship? Like
Yeah.
how to start business, how to get going?
Yeah.
What bravery and
I'm
courage
down.
you guys have had to just take those steps and just keep taking the next one.
That's what you have to do as an entrepreneur. This is why, Erin, you and I talk about this a lot. Like, Andre, Erin and I talk about the people that have to have the grit to be
Mhm.
entrepreneurs because there's people that we've seen that say they're going to start a podcast or they're going to start a business or they're just going to jump in with other people or and she and I are like they don't have they don't have what it takes. And it's not because we're saying like they don't have it. It's that they don't understand what it takes to do the sleepless nights
Yes.
and give up the birthday parties with your kids and like
Yes.
literally
Drop
like not be
90K on a piece of equipment.
drop thank you 90K on a piece of equipment and like you do you know what I mean? Like do all of these things that a lot of people just take for granted. Like there's
Mhm.
this grit and this fall down 40 times, stand up 41 that you have to do. Like when I say fail forward and fail fast, like
Mhm.
I'm not kidding. And you have to be a very certain type of person to be able to do that. And so the grit and the fearlessness that you have to be an entrepreneur. Like you guys are dead ass living that. It's incredible.
It's just point blank the hardest thing that we've done. The
Mm.
highs are really high and the lows are super low. There's no like, and you have to learn that skill, sort of even keel. Don't. It's funny enough to say like, don't overly celebrate the good moments and then don't tear yourself down in the bad moments. Just like learn to be a little bit more even keel, and that's something that we're still a skill we're still building and developing. But the thing about business is uh, there has to be a why for why you're doing it because it sucks in all points. It obviously sucks if it's not doing well.
It's true.
Yeah.
That's obvious. It sucks if it's kind of just stagnant and flat. But it also sucks when it's going really well because then you run into other challenges. We just had our biggest month in November of this past year. And boy, did that unlock new challenges. Like, if we all of a sudden go from what we were selling to what we are selling and it's all custom made,
Scale.
you need to have exactly scale, the infrastructure, the team, the processes, the systems to be able to handle that. I mean, we're in the middle of it right now. It has been some of the toughest 3 to 4 weeks, and this is the good times, right? So business kind of sucks all the time, and if you don't have a why for why you're doing it, you don't keep going.
All right, Simon Sinek, I see you. So what's y'all's why? No, Erin, that's true. That
Oh
actually
no,
comes from
he's
Simon
not
Sinek.
wrong. He is not
Start with
wrong.
no, it's true. That's from Simon Sinek. He wrote a book that's called Start with Why. So, Andre, what's y'all's why? Or are y'all's whys different?
I love that question, and maybe there's a quick follow up with Danny to give her why as well. Um, I love that question. For us, it goes back to the realization that we're not selling jeans, we're selling an ability to feel great in yourself, feel confident in yourself, and empower yourself to be the best version of yourself that you can.
Mm.
And so the why is helping people feel that way because we didn't feel that way, because we questioned ourselves. And if we did, a lot of other people did. And it's that aha moment of I'm not just buying a widget, I'm buying an ability to feel like myself and feel proud to be in my own skin. That ultimately just it's a responsibility now that we carry, right? To continue giving people that opportunity to feel that way.
My why as an image consultant is to hopefully put myself out of business one day. I do this
Say more.
so that hopefully I have and this is what I tell my clients, I'm a coach. So most of my clients see me 3 to 5 times because when you relearn every like your colors and your body type and your essence, you're rematrixing your brain, you're relearning how to dress
Mhm.
yourself. And hopefully I see enough people in my lifetime that I eventually put myself out of business. That you learn to love yourself and dress yourself. And I see so many people that one day I look up and I don't have any clients anymore because the world is so beautiful. And once you like you start dressing like yourself, and I know that sounds this is gonna sound insane.
Mhm.
You come across more confidently, you love deeper, you care more, you look more trustworthy, you feel happier, like, you
Mhm.
embrace people. It makes the world a better place, and it can dead ass start with a shirt.
Mhm.
I do this so that one day I hopefully can put myself out of business, and that's the day the world is a better place.
That is 100% true.
Isn't that crazy? That's my why.
No, I love it. It's an honor just to sit here and get to listen to this conversation and be part of it and just be inspired by both of you guys and the different pathways that your journey is taking you on, but the ways that you are giving forward to people and how impactful that is, not only in our own psyche, but for our wallets and for our world. And that's a big deal. Yeah, that's a real big deal.
Did you have doubters, Andre? Did you guys have people that were like, "We don't think this is gonna work, you guys."
I think the question is, did you have believers early on?
Damn!
Everyone was a doubter.
We can
Another
be done now. That's a wrap.
and I don't blame them. I think here's another thing that we say. Naivety was our superpower early
Love
on.
that.
Not
Love it.
knowing was our superpower because if you knew everything that it entailed, you wouldn't start. You'd say, "Whoa, this is way too hard."
That is for sure.
And so everyone in the industry that knew what we were trying to do said, "Guys, you're trying to do this and you have no experience, like
Mm.
don't recommend it." And so naivety was our superpower. And I don't blame them for doubting. From the tech vendors, I mentioned Tukatech early on, they were always really uplifting, but they made us sort of see the challenges, to those 10 manufacturers we visited, to tailors that we visited in a trip to New York, to just understand. Our thought process was, if you can learn more and understand tailoring, well, then you can tackle it from the beginning. And I remember this one tailor specifically said, "It takes me 3 to 4 fittings to get it right here with my clients. You're going to try to get it right on the first time digitally without seeing them? No way." And so I left that tailor meeting being like, man, what did I just get myself into? Are we really doing this? So yes, there was no shortage of doubters, and I don't blame them.
So, have you gone back to that tailor and looked at him and said, "How do you like them apples?" "Hey,
We
boy, you
should
like
one day.
apples?"
We
Yeah,
should
"How do you
one
like
day.
apples? How do you like them apples?"
Offer your clients her jeans. Don't fit them yourselves. We'll make their jeans. We should one day, but no, we we haven't.
I would dead I would dead ass do that. I would be like I would just walk in and just drop a pair of jeans and just go and just walk out.
That's
Just
amazing.
and
Are
they're
you and Danny the
just
kind of people who, when you have the naysayers that are like, "Oh, you told me I can't watch me," or did that really give you pause?
Uh, Watch me. I think
Yeah.
it fuels us. Like, look, if anything is possible. If we've put people on the moon, if cars are driving themselves now, if we've advanced how much we've advanced, like making custom jeans, sure, on the spectrum of difficulties, like maybe it was difficult to you, but come on, like it has to be possible. So it did fuel us, and it continues fueling us. Um, but we're not the type of people to then to go like rub it into people's faces. We'll like let it fuel us, and then just continue going.
Yeah. Love that.
Ooh, Erin, do you wanna talk about, like, the value of customization and, like,
Uh,
if things are more ethical or if we
yeah.
wanna call it, like, the Great Denim Rebellion? Do you wanna
Great
talk about
Denim
that?
Rebellion. Yeah, so we at the Style Rebellion and just in life views in general are huge fans of things that are ethical and things that
Mhm.
are sustainable. And Blair talks all the time with clients about price per wear and how when you are making an investment,
Yeah.
you want to make the investment and you want to wear it all the time because when you do that, you get the cost down to pennies per wear. But when you're buying things that are poor quality, maybe it's dollars per wear because there's a hole in it after you've laundered
Yeah.
it once. And so at the end of the day, there's a price tag on your clothing, right? But the cost of that is so much deeper
Mhm.
when you think about the environmental implications of clothing production, when you think
Mhm.
about the waste and the overbuying that we generate. So the challenges of shopping for and finding denim have implications that go far beyond our own emotional turmoil, right? There is the time spent, there's materials for shipping, there's emissions, there's environmental fallout of returns. Um, I learned just this year that there are companies that will just write off your returns and trash them because the cost of washing and sanitizing and repackaging for sale is so significant. So what is your experience and your perspective on this, and how did that affect how you guys approached the process of your company development and your denim manufacturing?
Yeah, no, that's absolutely right. And it was a forefront and how we thought about things. And sustainability and ethical production and ethical businesses, it's a spectrum. You can be all the way to like 0% to try to chase being 100%. And I think our goal is always be improving, right?
Mhm.
The way that we thought about it was the business model in itself lends itself to be a lot more ethical and sustainable to begin with, right? So it's made to order.
Definitely.
Custom made means it also has to be made to order.
Yeah.
All we stock are the fabrics and the buttons and the pocket lining and the labels, right? But nothing is pre-made. And so that means that we actually don't make it until a customer has decided that they wanted to place an order. And it which cuts out one of the largest issues in the fashion industry, which is overproduction.
Mhm.
You can overproduce for a few different reasons, a lot of different reasons. You can overproduce because you don't exactly know which sizes are going to sell. And so you don't want to run out of stock in one size. So you kind of have to overproduce. It's a classic newspaper salesman problem. Do you understock or overstock? And typically in a maximize sales world, maximize, the total GMV we can do, brands will fall in the spectrum of overproducing, not under.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And so what do you do with that? A lot of brands will then, if they can't liquidate it in clearance channels, or if their brand doesn't align with liquidating it in clearance channels, it'll literally get disposed. Brand new garments in the hundreds of thousands disposed or incinerated overseas. And the industry doesn't want you to know that that's a thing. So the model itself eliminated overproduction, which was a huge first step in the right direction. The next step was, okay, if we have a choice to source materials, let's go ahead and source the best materials. There's materials, denim, buttons, packaging that is more or less sustainable, right? So
Mhm.
we decided from the very beginning we wanted to partner with the best materials. We're already starting from zero anyway, and we're not optimizing to sell the cheapest product we possibly can. So let's just go ahead and find great quality materials that are made well and made sustainably.
And yours are
Um,
it's dead stock. Is it dead stock denim? Am I or
it
did I make
started as
that
dead
up?
stock. It
Thank you.
started as dead stock. It did.
Thank you.
We would in LA, we'd work with a dead stock denim broker,
Yeah.
and essentially the overproduction runs from mills he would buy and resell. So that's exactly what we worked with. As we scaled and grew, we realized that was not going to be possible because consistency is key.
Mhm.
And denim has a lot of complexity and nuances on how it shrinks, how it drapes, etc., that you just can't be switching fabric and mill every month because they're out of it. So that model served us for a part of our journey. It no longer serves us now. But it was part of our journey. And so we then went back to the drawing board and said, okay, what are the mills? What are the denim mills that we want to partner with that do good work? And we found a few, and it all goes from how the cotton is grown to how it's spun, how it's dyed, how much water is used in the dyeing process, what type of dyes and fixants and toxic chemicals or lack
Mhm.
thereof they use. And so we work with some of the best mills out there. There's a grading standard called Oeco Tex, and one of the most sort of commonly seen if you're doing good work when it comes to textiles and materials is Oeco Tex Standard 100, and all our fabrics sort of have that certification, which is really cool. Then finally, so materials, right? Recycled and compostable materials, paper, et cetera, instead of using sort of the cheapest type of plastic you can buy, sort of, et cetera. Then the third component of sustainability that we think about a lot is the people
Mhm.
that make your jeans. And that's something that, to Erin's point earlier, shows itself in the price tag in hidden ways. Um, you can either exploit people
Yep.
or you can treat them like humans, the way that we all deserve to be treated. And so we wanted to make sure that the vendors and the factories that we were working with, we'd be proud to literally go show the people making your jeans. And you can go on our Instagram and we post videos of our factory workers. We have breakfast with them when we go visit the factory. There's an amazing video that Danny put together of all of us waving. Like, there's nothing to hide. Like, we will go to the factory and literally put you on live stream if we want to, because there's nothing to hide. We feel really proud about how they treat them.
I was about
And the
to
way,
say that. I love your videos on I totally shed
yeah,
a tear, but I'm a big softie. I totally shed a tear, and I liked every video that you guys had of, like, your people and your factory. It is so precious, you guys. They are so hardworking, and they look so sweet, and every single person that was on the camera, I was like, "I just wanna go give them a hug." Like, they just
True.
look like they love their job too.
Yeah, it's true. This is Blair and I getting choked up.
It's true.
Slight non sequitur, but my first exposure into the realm of fashion and style was being an independent ambassador for a company called New Day Collection that works with artisan business owners in developing countries and sought to give them a marketplace for their goods so that they were able to create dignified
very
work
cool.
in their communities. And the highlight of that time was being able to travel to Guatemala and meet the women who beaded the jewelry with their little babies running around, and meet the women who wove the textiles on a backstrap loom, like, out in the garden with their families, and just see just the joy and the dignity that was provided for them through that. So the human cost of the things that we consume is significant. And this is my natural essence coming through. But, but I mean, there's enormous need and space for us to love other people and to love them
Mhm.
well. And their work and how we treat their work is a very important way for us to do that.
Yeah,
We didn't mean to
that's
interrupt you,
absolutely right.
Andre.
Yeah,
Please keep
sorry.
going.
Oh
So
Sorry,
thank
no,
you for
sorry,
that.
sorry.
didn't interrupt. You added. That was wonderful, and it takes work to do so,
Yeah.
because naturally people want things as cheaply as possible, as fast as possible, right? And that doesn't lend itself to, we're here for a reason, to treating people well. So it takes work to do that, and that was one of the core pillars early on, right? So that was our framework for what we call sustainability and ethical manufacturing and running an ethical business. And there's more to go here. I mentioned there's a spectrum. There's more to go here to figure out. Um, one thing that we transparently want to continue working on and improving is, okay, we do offer free remakes and alterations
Mhm.
on your jeans, because if for whatever reason we didn't get it right the first time, we don't want you feeling like, oh my God, now I'm stuck with this. Like, we are committed until you feel amazing in them. Um, and so when we do have remakes and alterations just get altered and they get sent right back to you. Let's say the waist was a little bit big and it just needs to be cinched in, or let's say you want to hem it in an inch. Perfect. It gets altered. That's included with your purchase. It gets sent back right back to you. For remakes, we have those garments, right? And so we want to find ways to deploy those garments in really sustainable and ethical ways as well. Historically, we've done things like recycling them, and they use those recycled fibers for different applications. Like, they'll make even insulation for low cost housing out of those fabrics.
Love that.
But there has to be a way to sort of do more there. And so we've been toying around with the ideas. I don't think anything ready to share there, but that's something that's on our radar that we want to continue improving and continuing our journey on the spectrum of being an ethical and a sustainable business.
Yeah. Love that.
That's
Thank you for sharing all of that with us. That's some solid stuff right there. Like, I just enormous respect for you guys and how you are thinking about things and moving through this, and not just taking the easiest, most profitable way through. So thank you for that.
Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
agreed. And that was one of the things that I of the 8,000 things, as I was, like, reading through the Neems website before I came to Erin, like, I don't know if Erin remembers the day that I texted her and I was like, "Oh my god, you will not believe what I found." And it just started, like, I think it was actually a voice message, but I was like, "Guess what?" And just started, like, telling her all the things that was incredible about your website, and I loved that you guys talked about your people and how you were dedicated to your people, and you were dedicated to making this incredible product, and that you had the remake guarantee that was on the website, so and it as we looked at everything, it was literally a no-brainer. It was like, if it's custom made to you. They're incredible quality. It's at an affordable price. And the reason why I say some people are going to think I'm insane. They're going to be like, Blair, $200 isn't affordable. I completely disagree with you. If you're going to be buying a $30, $35 pair of Target jeans every single year, and you only end up wearing them for a year because they're a piece of crap and they end up wearing out, then you buy one pair of Neems for $200 at the end of 10 years, let's say, and your names maybe only last you 10 years, highly doubtful they're going to last you way longer than that because the denim is way more premium. But let's just call it 10 years. Okay. You spent $200 over 10 years, but you've spent about 300, 350 at Target over 10 years. Guess what? Your dollar has gone way further with that one pair of jeans.
Mhm.
Let's talk about economics, guys. That's just smart business. That's being a really smart consumer. That's being a smart shopper. That's ethical. If you want to know where your dollar is going, which a lot of consumers today are really concerned about that. They're really concerned about knowing where their dollar is going, who their dollar is funding, all of these like traces that they can see with their money. Why not go with the company that is like, excuse me, but like opening the kimono, so to speak? Like, you guys have nothing to hide, which was something that was so refreshing for me. So I really appreciated it. I want to get into tailoring really, really quickly because if you are, let's just say, like able to find a pair of jeans, because this is what I tell my clients anyway when it comes to pants, that you as a human being are going to need to buy a pair of pants. It doesn't even matter what kind, usually a size potentially two larger. And then they're going to need some type of tailoring to actually get to the size that you need them to be on you. So you need to add anywhere between $20 and $100 worth of tailoring on your pants anyway to get them to fit you perfectly. Okay. So you have to make an investment on top of purchasing that pair of pants. You have to be committed to tailoring. Then you also have to make the investment in the item. So instead of that rigmarole of finding and tailoring, clearly with Neems, you can just have custom made jeans. No, it's not too good to be true. No, we're not dreaming. So talk to me about how, which I could just tell people how it worked, but I want you to tell them how it works, about how you guys are able to accurately take measurements for clients.
Yeah, yeah, I'm happy to. And one quick comment here on tailoring, because nowadays it's funny. Nowadays you do get internet trolls that will sort of write comments on your ads or on your website, and that's probably one of the more common ones that we get. Why would I pay 200 and whatever dollars on your jeans when I can get cheaper jeans and just go get them tailored,
Because the
right?
quality
And
is garbage.
quality is different. That's exactly right. There's some things that you can't tailor. You can't add length to pants, right? We have very tall women um, who love their Neems because they've never. There we go. Because 34-inch inseams aren't tall. Like there's real tall people out there,
How
and
about
when tall
40
is
inch
considered
inseam?
34, we've
Yep.
gotten 44. We've gotten
Love
Oh,
it.
44.
wow.
Oh, gorgeous.
That's our record. We'll
Gorgeous.
see if we beat it one day, but 44 is our record right now for an inseam. And so you
Beautiful.
can't tailor that, right? And then the last thing is there's something to it being right out of the bag. Like, yeah, if I go order a coffee and I want an iced coffee, I could get a hot one and then myself have to go add a ton of ice, or I could just get my iced coffee from the beginning. And that's the same thing. Like, just get it right from the first time. Why then have to go to a tailor and have them, spend an hour there, go back to the fitting, something didn't work, change it again. Like, just get it right from the beginning. But to answer your question, that was another journey. That was another journey. We actually started with asking people to measure themselves with videos that we had on the website.
Mhm.
It was 9 different points of measurement. And we had videos to show you how to measure yourself. What we ended up finding was measuring yourself is an awkward and difficult thing to do.
People are
Um,
bad at it.
yeah, it's not easy. I don't blame people. What do you wear when you're measuring yourself? Where
Mhm.
exactly in the waist do you measure yourself? You're not in front of a mirror, so you can't see if it's level when you're measuring yourself. And so we found that something wasn't clicking right. People would do it, but either the measurements sort of seemed off, or the real symptom was there was more remakes than we would like. They'd say, "Hey, I got it back and it's not sort of fitting right here."
Mm.
And most of the time it could be attributed to the measurements that were fed in weren't right. So we knew, okay, this is not tenable. This is not sustainable to do. It's not going to work.
Mm.
So we went and said, okay, is there technology that that can play a role here that facilitates this? And so we have, over the past 4 years, because that was a year in, tested, rigorously tested a ton of different what we call the mobile body scanner to find the right one. And so the way it works is you download the app, it takes a front picture of you, a side picture of you, and then you send it over to us and it processes your images into measurements. And we actually have human review in every single order to make sure that we have that extra layer of quality control to adapt for maybe how your stance was, to adapt for maybe the clothing that you were wearing. It says form fitting, but if it's a little bit looser, then we're doing a manual review to make sure that the measurements that it's giving are actually correct. But we've tested at least 6 to 7 different versions of these mobile body scanners, and only found one that works well, that works reliably, and it's the one that we use. The other ones, oh, we're 90 to 95% accurate. Well, that
That is not.
10% can translate to 3 inches very easily, and 3 inches off is useless. Like,
Yeah.
if it's going to be 3 inches off in your waist, just go buy off the rack and tailor it 3 inches. Like, that's not what we're promising here. We need 99% accuracy, right? Not 90 or 95% accuracy. And that was another sort of challenge to solve. Even though we weren't building the tech itself, even just finding the right tech to use was a challenge, and testing. And to this day, we always test. We need to stay sort of on top of what's the latest and greatest, and continuing to make sure that the technology we are using is still the right one, and sort of the best one. And so that's how it works. And we're super fortunate to have them as partners. We're super fortunate to be able to have this that is sort of the backbone to everything. If you don't have measurements that are accurate, you don't have custom jeans. And so it's so important. Um, we're really grateful for it.
So, if you guys wanna hear about my experience with this app, shut up, Erin. Shut up, Erin.
No,
Because
because
Erin's
I
fr
was going to tell the story if you weren't. I was about to be like, do we need to talk about Palm
shut up,
Springs?
Erin. But yes, we have to tell this story. So, I am there's a reason why I have my admin, Lauren. There's a reason why I have my incredible Mikey, who does all of the social media. There's a reason why Erin is, like, podcast queen. I have to have my people, otherwise I can't run anything, Andre. It's just too many squirrels because I have to take care of the clients. And so when Aaron and I were in Palm Springs out with our clients in early November, we were in
Hmm.
November.
Yeah.
Um, she looked at me and she was like, "You have to take your Neems measurements." And I was like, "You're right. I need the pants." And so I was like, "How do we do this?" And we looked over and, like, there was the Lulu outlet, and we, like, ducked in the Lululemon outlet, literally grabbed some leggings, went in the dressing room, and you guys, here's how cool this goes, okay? I opened the email that Neem sent me, and they were like, "Okay, download this little app." And so I downloaded the measurement app, and then it connected to my order on Neems, and it said, "Okay, now here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna put your phone against the wall." And so here's Erin and then one of our friends, who's also one of my clients, in the dressing room together, and this is
Eating
the
pretzels
my
because
god,
we
y'all,
were
this is
so hungry.
we're It's ridiculous. And this is probably the biggest dressing room I've ever seen, quite frankly. It was a really big dressing room. And like you put your phone on the floor in front of you and it's like leaned up a certain number of degrees and you like stand at the front and it's like put your legs here and here and it takes the photo of you and then it's like, okay, now stand to the side and put your arm out and then it took
Hmm.
the photo right there and then it lets you like move in the little line so it's like okay this is actually where my leg is and this is actually where my arm is and then we put the leggings back and we walked out. We didn't buy the leggings from Lulu because we didn't need them. We just looked at the guy and we were like thank you and we just walked out. But to continue with what Andre says, you guys, about having people double check the measurements in order to make sure that one of my measurements for my waist was correct because I asked them for like such a high rise on my pants. They actually had someone email me and say, "Hey girl, we want to double check what your waist measurement was. Can you actually take a soft waist like a tape measure and then measure your waist for us and take a photo of that so that we can make sure that your jeans are perfect." And I was like, I love this process. This is amazing because it just speaks to the quality and how precise that you guys want to be in all of this. So I just wanted to give you, number one, a giggle, but number two, the feedback of like what it's been to work through my jeans. And it's been really fun.
And I would say, in all, between being in the dressing room, changing the clothes, taking the video, and then answering the email, you probably invested 7 minutes of your life,
I
if
mean,
that, like maybe five. And
yes.
I'm including changing the clothes here, 'cause so
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
so
Yeah. And it was
it's
so
so
fast.
fast. And when you think about how long it takes to go in and try on umpty ump pairs of jeans, like, yes, please.
And that's the thing too is if you're one of those people that's like, "Oh my god, I'm gonna feel like crap when I take the measurements and it's gonna take so long," and no, you guys, like, it was literally a nothing burger, and when I say nothing burger, I mean less than a nothing burger. I literally put on some damn leggings and I, like, tucked in my shirt, and I literally just, like, stood at the front and I stood at the side, and it was like, "Great job!" And then it just sent my measurements in, like, it was 30 seconds. It was fine. So, do it.
And one thing that I want to even emphasize here for listeners, one thing that we do want to improve with the workflow here is not having y'all edit the points
Mm,
because it does give you that option, but the
sure.
reality is that's responsibility that shouldn't fall on you.
Mm,
Many people actually might not even know technically what that means or how to account for it. So because every scan is manually reviewed by our team who are experts at doing this, you don't have to do it. You can literally just skip it. And it doesn't mean that it's going to be off. It means that we're going to do it. So don't even spend those 30 to 60 seconds trying to guess and sweat. Oh, am I placing the points right? Like, we've got it.
that's a really, really good point, you guys. I am just ridiculous. And once I saw the fact that I could edit the points, I was like, "Ooh," and I, like, zoomed in and was, like, playing with it. So, yeah, no, don't if you are not that type A ridiculous like I am, please do not be that person. I'm sure Andre's team would probably prefer that you were not that person
Look at the
like
shiny
I
new
am.
toy.
Yeah, 100%, absolutely.
Oh, that's funny.
Fun.
Um, so, okay, understandably, you said that this month has been absolutely crazy, and I would imagine that you're referring to the fact that you've had such a mass amount of orders that the runtime for production is probably a little bit longer right now than it normally is. But let's talk about a normal runtime, right? But to be fair, you guys had, I would imagine, an amazing November because you were running a damn good Black Friday sale and you guys plastered it everywhere. I saw
Mm.
it everywhere, dude. But okay, how long does the process take? Like from the second that I click the button to the second that I take my measurements and you guys receive them, like in theory, what's the time?
Yeah. So in theory, you can do your part of the process immediately. You can place your order and you'll get that email with next steps to download and take the measurements within the minute. And so if you go ahead and just say, I'm going to knock this out all right now, you can be done with the process in minutes. Our timeline starts from when we have your final set of measurements, right? Because if you haven't scanned yet, or if our team did go ahead and ask for a double check on something, and guys, we do that because we care. Like, we don't want to just send it like, oh, we think this is right, just send it. No, we do it because we want you to receive a great pair of jeans, and little parentheses there. Once you go ahead and do that, takes anywhere between 2 and 3 weeks during normal runtime, normal operations. And we've even had in the last month, if the stars sort of align right, even less than 2 weeks. If the sort of your steps of the process were done before and there was sort of a little gap into how everything was flowing, like it's been as low as 11 days, which is, a few days short of 2 weeks. On average, 2 to 3 weeks to the moment it ships. And yes, right now we're running probably an extra week, call it 3 to 4, because we were so lucky to do even better than we expected. And so we didn't want to say, no, you can't have, you're really excited. You've been waiting all year to hopefully see if we were running a Black Friday sale to make it maybe a little bit more accessible for you. But no, we're going to stop taking orders. We didn't want to do that. We realized so many people were waiting for that moment. And so instead, we are really grateful for how November went, and it's ticked up our regular processing time maybe by a week, 3 to 4 weeks total. But we hope to get that down very soon and build ahead for next year. Sort of anticipate if things do go even better than we expect for next year, how can we build the capacity and be ready for it and sort of have that flex capacity to make sure that we can maintain those production and delivery times.
To be honest, though, you guys, I mean, I know that Amazon has turned us into an immediate gratification society, and so has like curbside, and it's just getting worse and
Mhm.
worse with the fact that, we can anything on demand on like a movie or something like that. But the fact that you could have custom made jeans to your house within 11 days, at worst 4 weeks, most of us have been waiting 40 years for this moment. Like, 4 weeks at worst sounds like a pretty manageable thing, TBH. Do you know what I mean?
I'm on board with that. I'm absolutely on board with that.
Do you know what I mean? Like, if in
I
my
love that
mind
you framed it
Yeah.
that way.
I
the
don't really need it between 4 and 8 AM on Wednesday morning.
yeah, I know.
I probably won't find it until at least 10, but but quite honestly, to have something that's made for your body, have you ever tried making garments or sewing anything? My mom was a quilter, my grandmother's a quilter. So even just the process of sewing straight lines enough times to produce a blanket takes an enormous quantity of time. But like I remember 7th grade home economics class, and we got our little, like, sewing machine operator's license and going through the process of cutting out the paper pattern and laying it on the fabric and marking it and cutting out the fabric, and then just the number of steps and the amount of time it takes and the number of places that you can make an
Yes.
error that could be catastrophic, right, are significant, and so, to Blair's point, you're getting a custom-made pair of jeans that probably is you can't do it in 4 weeks, let me just put it that way.
I couldn't do it in 40 years. Like, I don't no, I'm grateful. I'm grateful that Neems exists.
Yeah,
Like, no
yeah.
thank
It's amazing. It's amazing. 5 years into this, am still amazed every time we go to the factory and you see the number of steps that it takes, the number of hands that touch your jeans, the number of, like you said, areas where something could go wrong. It is such an appreciation for what goes behind making your jeans. And then you sit back and say, how the hell do brands sell this for $35 at a profit? What does that mean for, sure, they're running things super efficiently and they've got their processes down, but also how the math doesn't math for so many hands and so many steps to be involved in this process and for it to be that cheap. It is mind blowing. So one thing that We don't commit to doing it in 2026, but it would be very cool to do so. We're envisioning at one point doing this like giveaway, the sweepstakes where we'll randomly select. It'll be a golden ticket, a Willy Wonka golden ticket, and eventually we want to bring like a few lucky customers or a few lucky people to the factory to sort of see behind the scenes. Let's go spend 2 to 3 days in Mexico City, an amazing place, amazing food, amazing things to do. Go see the factory, go see jeans being made, maybe go see your jeans being made, touch and see them and feel them, because you can't imagine it. You can't imagine the process behind it.
Can we come as the podcast? We'll pay our own way. It's fine.
Like,
Can
I
Let's
we
would
do
just
it.
come? Just come see it? Like
Yeah.
I love how it's made. I worked in manufacturing as one of my Fortune 500s, and the how it's made aspect, like, I worked for Mitsubishi Caterpillar, and being like, watching them create forklifts. The number of people that are like, "Blair, you know a lot about forklifts. You know a lot about, like, big earth movers," and I'm like, "They're very cool. Have you not seen these things?"
our
It's
sons think they're fantastic.
being in factories, you guys, is incredible. Just, like, watching how things work and how they're created, and yeah.
Okay, so I want to talk about these for a minute because these are one of my most favorite pairs of jeans.
Andre's face is like, "What are you
What is
holding up?"
happening? So, I think that every once in a while we find the needle in the haystack, right? Like you find the pair of jeans and you're like, do I buy 7 pairs of these so that I have them forever? What
Mhm.
happens when they wear out? Because you know they won't be available again. But you guys have a solution for that too. Can you tell us a little bit about that and how
The
I get to keep these forever?
the coolest thing ever, you guys, listen up on this.
Yes, you're referring to our Clone My Jeans program.
Yes.
And we didn't start with that either. Again, goes back to the same theme of take a step and learn and see what the market asks for and then take the next step. So there's a few things here that we wanted to solve. Even when you do find that needle in a haystack, there's another problem that you're presented, which is either they can discontinue it
Mm.
or change the fit. So many people we've gotten said, I used to have these jeans always fit me perfectly. Then I reordered the same one and now they're different. What happened? And that happens. The fit changes or they're discontinued. And so we had customers say, hey, I love the idea, or people, they weren't customers yet. I love the idea of custom made jeans, but I actually have a pair that I already love. I just can't get them anymore. Can you do anything? And that's when the light bulb moment went on. What if we could clone your jeans using our fabric, using our materials, but at least sort of the fit and the drape and that thing that you love about them. What if we could do that? And that was a whole new development, a whole new process to figure out, from, okay, how do we get your jeans to us at scale? What does it even look like cloning them without taking them apart? We don't have to go ahead and undo the seams to measure. We actually return them to you in the exact condition that you sent them to us. To what does that mean for what we physically measure on the pant versus what the digital pattern has to be, and how do you incorporate shrinkage of the fabric so it ends up being the same thing? And that was all Danny. That was all her brainchild and her doing. She's done an amazing job bringing that program to life, and it's really popular. I'd say it's about 20% of our business
Wow.
is Clone My Jeans, and the other sort of 80-85 are the custom made jeans. You'll send it to us, we'll measure it, we'll clone it, we'll make the new pair, and then we'll ship you both pairs back to you. Um, and it's really cool. You hold them together and it's like the perfect outline of each other. It's so cool to see those jeans brought back to life.
What happens if they're like, for example, what if you've gained weight and the jeans that you sent in were too small? Or what if you've lost weight and the jeans that you've sent in are too big? How do you guys manage those two scenarios?
Yeah. So if you want to make any changes to it and it's not a direct clone or even a direct clone, like clone it and just add an inch to it because I want them to be a little bit longer. If it's anything that requires adapting, then we'll ask you to do the body scan as well, right? So that we can merge the hybrid of your jeans, which are the silhouette and sort of the pattern and the overall shape of them, with your measurements so that we can adapt that pattern and sort of resize them or remake them for you. That's not a problem. That's semi common.
I was born in the right century. I don't really enjoy the things that are currently happening right now, but the technology of when I was born at the right time because this is so fire. Like, it's so cool. It sounds like science fiction. I love it. It's so neat.
That's awesome. I love that. And so, like, and there's no trademark or copyright or any, like, weirdness that you guys have to consider? You're just able to, like, "Doot, doot, doot, here's your clone. No denim was harmed in the producing of this new pair?"
No denim was harmed. We're not claiming their brands or putting their brands labels. It's
Yeah.
obviously a pair of jeans. We're just replicating the shape of it for you. And there are some within the boundaries, some limitations. It's still a pair of Neems, right? So one of the things that, we don't do yet, and we haven't decided if we'll do in the future, is exactly cloning the wash, for example. There are
Oh.
literally thousands of washes that you
Yeah,
can put on a pair
Yeah.
of jeans. You can alter the formula any which way. It's a continuous spectrum. You can
Mhm.
add things, remove things, leave them longer, leave them less time, use stone, not use stone, treat it before, treat it after, and you can have millions of washes. And so we replicating a wash and doing that for every single different pair would be very difficult and
True.
introduce sort of a ton of variance. So right now you choose between our washes that we offer: light, medium, dark, rinse, charcoal, black, ecru, and you can sort of clone the silhouette of it
mhm,
with one of our washes. And a lot of
Mhm.
people are very happy because they are classic washes. They're washes that you just can't go wrong with, and they look beautifully. The other thing is, like, super custom design. So, for example, there will be brands out there that in the back pockets will embroider it a certain way, and that's their signature mark. So we're not gonna do that because we're not selling we're
yeah.
not claiming to be them, right? So you're getting a clone of the silhouette. It's gonna fit you the same way. You're gonna love them, but at the end of the day, it's still a pair of Neems.
What is the which because you talked about customization, and Erin and I were like, "I wonder what the craziest customizations that they've ever been asked for are." Do you have, like, a pair of jeans or just, like, a thing that people have asked you for, whether you did them or you didn't, that, like,
Right.
sticks out to you where you were like, "What?"
Right. Let me go back to the mental list here. We've had and some are really heartwarming. Some are really cool. Like,
Oh.
this one is you'd never even think about it, but it's so cool that we could do it. We've had wheelchair users say, "Hey, can you leave back pockets out?" Because when you're sitting on a wheelchair all day, it actually gets really uncomfortable. And so jeans without back pockets for that functional reason, 100%. We'll leave them off for you. Like, if that's going to make you more comfortable, all power to you. So that's really cool that we could do that for people and something you never even think about.
Can I ask
We've
you
had
a
also,
marketing question?
yeah,
Can I ask you a market Did you guys go in and make sure that you actually made, like, a blog page about that so that as you could optimize it for SEO for the ADA community?
we haven't done that yet. We
Uh,
haven't done that yet.
you should dead ass do that, like, in an hour.
Yeah,
'Cause that shit
yeah,
would go viral for them. Okay, sorry,
yeah.
keep going.
No, it's a great idea. Um, what are other ones? A very common one. So this is not crazy, but it is common. Is like, hey, as women, when we buy jeans, as I understand it, as many people have told me, these pockets are just there for looks and design. I can't actually use these front pockets.
Correct.
Can I actually have man pockets in my jeans? And it's like, well, you can have pockets. Let's just call them as deep as you want them. Let us know how if you actually want your pockets to be functional, and we can make that for you. So that's a pretty common request that people get. It's really funny, and then all sorts of other types of designs like we don't do it anymore because we can't at scale, but we've done like sides. We actually had this one customer that wanted a Velcro side pocket for his wallet right at the level of just above his knee, sort of lower to mid thigh on the side that he could slide his wallet in. And we literally custom designed it on our digital CAD system and made it for him. Now when we have those types of requests, we unfortunately can't take them on, but when we were smaller and had more time on our hands, we would do them.
That's so cool and so fun and so random. I love that. Honestly, you got my marketing wheels turning at that ADA opportunity.
Mm. That's
I
fascinating.
love that.
That's so
You
fascinating.
dude, you need to run with that shit.
Uh-huh.
And if you I'm serious, like, just create a whole ass page and optimize it for SEO all around
Mhm.
that. I mean,
Mhm.
sorry, I try not to give advice, but my marketing shit runs deep. But I guarantee you that there's a whole community
Mhm.
that, like, needs that.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
That's amazing.
That's an incredible opportunity to start. I'm thinking back to nursing school where they like were so particular about how you made the beds and no seams and no wrinkles because of pressure ulcers. And so I'm sitting here like
Mhm.
Yeah.
tracking, like sitting on that all day long has got to be really miserable.
Right.
So
Right. Right.
take that away and here we go. I love that.
Yeah, my brain is like on
What a
that
new
one. Anyway,
career
sorry
for
guys.
everybody.
Amazing.
Oh,
Oh man,
love
I
it.
love this.
Love it.
So, okay, do you guys plan or do you have any plans on like expanding your product lines, your fabrication offerings? Like what's on the horizon?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. There's so much planned, which is exciting. I think we've just tapped the surface here. So there's a few things we want to expand into. Product, for sure. We want to stay focused on bottoms for a good chunk of time, just because we've mastered that. We were mastering and we have mastered it, and there's a lot that you can do there. There's no need to really go into tops just quite yet, and we don't want to do something prematurely and not be great at it. So
Yeah.
within bottoms, you can do limited edition denim designs. You can do corduroy during the fall. You can do, velvet. You can do custom colors that are seasonal colors. You can do different silhouettes, obviously. You can do denim skirts, like midi and maxi sort of denim skirts. We do have shorts. We have denim shorts. You can do chinos for men. So there's a lot in the bottoms world that we're going to be diving into as
Mm.
early as Q1 of 2026, that we're super excited to expand into. Like I said, tops are not in the picture for a while, but eventually we do want to be your go-to place to have your core closet covered, in a way that is going to fit you perfectly. Where it's like, okay, I sort of need these core items. I know where to go. It's made for me. That's sort of our long-term vision. We also are playing a lot with channels. Right now we've been e-commerce only, and there's different channels to and growth opportunities that have been really exciting in some of the early metrics. So in October of this year, we did our first pop-up. We did a pop-up in Chicago, or a lot of Chicago listeners will tell me that wasn't Chicago, that was Winnetka. So let's say we did a pop-up in Winnetka.
Oh my
Going back to
goodness.
internet trolls, a lot of comments saying that's not Chicago. But if you can drive there within 45 minutes, we were traveling from Austin, so it was Chicago to us. And we studied in Chicago, and we still sort of called it Chicago. But anyway, we did our pop-up there. Um, and what was fascinating was how many people said, we've been following you. I've been following you for quite a while. I just haven't been able to pull the trigger without seeing and feeling in person. It's a very tactile experience. Do I want stretch or non-stretch? What does that actually mean? Can I feel it, etc.? Can I see what the washes look like in person? And that's not an insignificant amount of people that need that in-person experience to feel comfortable. That's why you see retail after COVID, really came back in a strong way. And now it's a steady state of e-commerce and sort of in-person retail having a healthy balance to each other. So that pop-up went really well. um, we realized this opportunity, and what was crazy and surprising to us. We had two questions in mind. We had said, okay, out of the people that RSVP, how many people are actually going to show up? And then out of the people that show up, how many are actually going to buy? We put some wild guesses, but it was the first time we did it. So it was wild guesses. The thing that really surprised us was out of the people that came, 98% bought. This wasn't a window shopping. This was, I am interested. I need this. I just need to get over the hump in person and I'm going to buy. I think out of all the people that came, like 2 didn't buy, and a lot of people bought multiple pairs. So that was so surprising because you don't see that in regular stores. You get a lot of window shoppers, you get a lot of sort of people just walking in, and so that's something that we need to really expand over the next few years, whether it's just more pop-ups or eventually actually having an in-person presence. We're toying around with the idea of deploying these digital kiosks in retailers. Think of if every Nordstrom store, Nordstrom, if you're hearing this, this is an amazing thing that we need to work on. If you could
I have an
go into the denim
in.
section,
I have an in at Nordstrom.
do you?
Yeah. I have a
Very
client.
cool. Well, what do retailers need? They need, obviously, to give customers an amazing experience with products that are going to make them happy and get them a reason to come back, but hopefully in a way that they don't have to carry stock, because going back stock is expensive. You don't know what you're going to sell. You don't know what you're going to be left with, and you have to outlay that cash at some point. A digital kiosk experience where you can come in, browse, build your jeans on this kiosk. Next to the digital kiosk, there's a sample rack of the different washes and fabrics and silhouettes. So you can get an idea of, okay, this is what I'm building and I'm seeing it here right next to me. Do I want stretch or do I not non-stretch? Do I want medium or do I want dark? Okay, I like this. Let me finish my selection, and then just get scanned in store. And when you leave, they should get shipped to your house in that 2 to 3 week timeline. That's an opportunity. Having our own store down the line is an opportunity. Really creating a place to come and have an experience, not just shop, is certainly on the roadmap. So we're really excited about both product opportunities and channel opportunities as well.
That's amazing.
Question. Have you guys thought about doing a road show?
We've had a lot of people recommend it. We haven't pulled the trigger on yet, but I'd love to hear more about it from you.
We'll talk about it once we wrap.
So
Okay.
exciting.
We'll talk once we wrap. Yeah. I think that would, I mean, with the what you said based off of your numbers that ordered, the question I would ask you as a marketer is why the hell have you not started figuring it out and
Mhm.
started planning out your routes
Mhm.
based off of certain things on your website that I would talk to you about?
I love it. I love it.
This is one of those moments where, like, in 5 years, we're gonna get to be like, "We talked to them, like, before they exploded."
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm a friend now. I'm investing.
Yeah,
Like,
friends.
what are you talking
Are we
about?
friends and family yet, or are we just friends?
Yeah. He's
Have
like,
we
I don't know. How
crossed the
good's your
family
roadshow
line?
idea? Like,
Oh,
that
I
depends on
love
you
that.
might be family soon.
that's so
Um,
exciting.
oh my gosh. Well, Andre, this has been so incredible. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us today. Is there any more questions, Erin, that you have? Like, I feel like I have asked this man
I
with
mean,
almost like, what's your kid's name gonna be? And can I have your social security number? Like, within like that.
oh, man. No, I mean, yeah, I mean, I'm sure I will hang up and I'll be like, "Oh, shit, I wish I shoulda wish I had shoulda asked." Man, I'm gonna well, but I have his email, so I get to be like, "Hey, Andre, tell me about"
Anytime.
Sliding into Andre's DMs. Calm down. Jesus.
So, but no, I'm really excited about this for I mean, like I said, for myself, because I like some jeans, but I'm really excited about it for our listeners and for followers and for your followers. And I'm really looking forward to getting to put together the guide of how you shop based on your body structure, and looking at the washes by season so that we can really just tailor and serve
Yeah.
people so well. So what an incredible opportunity, just to connect and learn more about you guys and look ahead to the future. I love it.
Andre, tell the people where they can find you from a social perspective. Where can they follow you guys?
Yeah. So we are on Instagram under @Neems Jeans, NeemsJeans. Fun fact on Neems really quickly. What does that mean? I think that's one question we haven't talked about.
Yeah.
Oh,
The word denim in itself comes from two words in French, de Nîmes, which is from Neems. There's a town in France called Neems, Nimes, which is where actually denim is thought to, the fabric itself was thought to have been born from, which is why it's called denim. If you go ahead and spell it Nimes in America, people will call you Nimes, and that's not a very sexy sounding word. So we replaced the IMES with a double E, and we're Neems, where denim was born. So Neems Jeans, you can find us on Instagram there. Our website is neemsjeans.com. Simple as that. But stick around for whatever Erin and Blair recommend for how to get to our website, because we do have special things for listeners.
No.
Yep,
So in our show notes, we will get the link to their website with Blair's code for your shopping and discounting pleasure. And we will, for the video, for our YouTube listeners, we will see if we can get that on the screen for you so you can go shop to your heart's content right now.
All right, guys. If you're going to go ahead and take advantage of this offer today, and you're going to want to take 20% off of your entire order at neemsjeans.com, here's what you're going to do. You're going to type in Maeve 20, that's MAEVE 20 at checkout. And that's not just on your first pair of jeans, like it's technically on the Neems website. It's going to be off of your entire order. So get as many pairs at the first checkout as you want to grab. That's Maeve 20 at checkout. Y'all, thank you so much for hanging
Thank
out
you,
with us
Andre.
today.
We really
Andre,
appreciate
you have been incredible. We are so grateful for you and all of your knowledge, and to you and Danny for creating this company. Bless you.
It's been a lot of fun. First podcast, actually. So a lot of fun. Really
What?
good meeting you guys in person or in virtual person. Thank you for having us. Had a blast. And yeah, you guys are friends now. Maybe family.
Yes. Yes, maybe. Dude, I'll take a maybe family. It's fine. Once
We'll
you
get there.
see
We'll get
what
there.
yes, that's right. Once you see what we put together, we'll be family. Don't worry about it. But guys, stick around. You're gonna hear a lot more about Neems, and go check out the website immediately. And we'll talk to you soon, pretty people. Bye.
Bye.